Here, hold this flashlight for me. That was the first instructions growing up from my dad and teaching us as kids how to help him around the house and learn about all the tools that he would use for his construction work and how to be handy around the house. All of us learned how to do that, starting with that phrase. For my dad, it was important that you showed your results of success. It was not about talking about it or boasting about it. How good you were was in the quality of your work. And that was true when we were growing up. If we wanted to be smart, my dad would say, show me, let me see your report card. Or if you're saying you're respectful, show me. For my dad and my mom, for them, integrity was about that there was no space between what you said and what you did. That action was intimately connected. Likewise, growing up, I remember going with my mom one spring afternoon on a Saturday around the neighborhood, and we had a tin can and we were collecting dimes. And I asked my mom, why are we doing this? Because we did it, I remember it was a couple years in a row. And my mom said, it's for this organization called March of Dimes, because my older brother, when he was little, he developed polio. And my mom said, this organization, out of all of the organizations that we reached out for help, they responded. And it's important for us to give back and to serve the community. And asking that question, I loved going around helping my mom collect dimes. Again, for both of my parents, the message was clear. Let your actions and your works speak louder than what you say. Similar to today's gospel, Jesus says, to be a disciple, it is all about action. It is not about boasting. He gives that example he says, religious leaders of his time. He said they like to boast and get hung up on what title they have and where they sit. And he says, but they don't practice what they preach. Jesus was emphasizing it's important that what you do matters. St. Francis of Assisi also said it a couple centuries later. He said, preach the gospel at all times, and if necessary, use words. Jesus says, for discipleship, greatness is about service. Don't get hung up on the titles. Don't be worried about what you're boasting about. What matters is the matter of the heart and action. Because he says discipleship is about sitting at the feet of a master. You have one master, that is God. You have one teacher, that is Christ, that is God. And to sit, and it's about lifelong learning from that and then taking action. It's that both learn and do. For us Christians, I think one of the most important signs we have in places of worship or where we worship, it's the exit sign. It's that exit sign matters. And that threshold of where we interact with human beings matters. That's the place where the rubber meets the road in being a Christian. So this week, I believe we're challenged to speak less and act more. Like Francis of Assisi said, preach that gospel, but don't use words unless you absolutely have to. Christ is calling us this week to lead with our feet and our hands and our heart. To speak less and act more. To listen more and to do more, to take action. So this week, let us pay attention to how we serve the gospel and preach the gospel with our actions. Let us preach that gospel and let our service and actions speak that gospel in love to one another. Just this week, just this day. Amen.